Hello again, class. Another guest lecture, and today we're going to meet Silver Calzada, who is also a counselor at Mount San Antonio College. Hello, Silver, and thanks for joining us today, again, devoting your time.
Hi.
And Silver has some comments and advice and insights for students. Once you establish your career, once you're in your career, what can you do to excel in your career?
Well, thanks for giving me the opportunity to share with this information with all of you. This message is all actually for people who want to really become extraordinary in their career, to take it beyond your wildest imagination, so to speak. And one of the most important things that you can do as you start your career, even early on, is continue researching, continue learning in that particular field. Get to a point, it may take you 5, 10 years, but get to a point where you're going to become an expert in that field. And a couple of ways to establish that is to be able to present at conferences, write papers, write articles for journals that are related to your field of interest. So get published, let people hear you, present, work, etc., so that you get to a point where people acknowledge you as an expert in that particular field. It takes a lot of discipline to do that, because you're no longer at school in a way.
Right.
It's not like you're getting a grade,
Yeah.
someone evaluating an essay. This is all coming from you. So it does take a lot of discipline and self-motivation. But if you do plug into that, you're then able to get to a next step out of these 5 that I'm going to detail out. The first being is really have a disciplined mind, get to a level of excellence and a level of expertise in your particular field and career. That allows you to get to a second point, which is called being able to synthesize, having a synthesized mind, so to speak. Being able to take what you have in your expertise, and then areas with which you don't have an expertise, but develop a little bit of knowledge about, you're able to infuse these ideas and synthesize them in ways that most people who don't have an expertise aren't able to do.
Right.
So when you do that, inevitably what happens is a lot of third level functioning that is called having the creative mind. That's where creativity comes from. And in our society, we value that more than anything else, because people who have creative minds and offer creative solutions to problems where people are typically stuck in.
Like you're talking fresh solutions, just new
You can't,
ideas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You really can't get there unless you have an expertise and the ability to synthesize other areas into it, so that you can come up with novel solutions to problems that usually stifle other people.
Instead of always relating back to the status quo and what was done before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in fact, those 3 levels of functioning are very, very important to kick off your career later on in life, so that you can transition into other fields, do consulting work. Again, because those first 3 levels that you've established, you've disciplined your mind, you've gotten to a level of expertise, you're considered to be an expert in that particular field, you've been synthesizing, you're creating new information that most people haven't heard of. And what happens then is that you get to a point where you're able to respect people and ideas in ways that most other people can't do. And this is the soft side of this process as you're thinking about developing your career in a way that's far beyond what you've ever thought or imagined. Because you're an expert in a particular area, you've been able to synthesize information, coming up with creative ideas, it actually allows you to make room for other people's ideas that most people normally wouldn't give a second thought to. And when people in agencies or in bureaucracies or in institutions see your capacity for doing that, it's another valuable thing that they'll see in you. And it lifts your sense of position within any field of a company or corporation or institution in ways that are admired, actually.
Right.
Inevitably, then, the last thing that you're able to do and think about is having a level of ethics then.
Okay.
Because an ethics in terms of how you relate to other people, other ideas, how you can synthesize all of that so that the best possible product usually surfaces. And it's not always your idea now, but you're able to shape those ideas that come from other people in such a way that that a great product comes out. So if you follow all these kinds of processes, I think for those of you who really want to have a stunning career, you want to become extraordinary at it, well, this is one of the pathways that you can consider taking.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Silver, for your insight. And hopefully maybe one of these days you can do another guest lecture.
Sure.
Great. Thank you.
Goodbye.